Good evening, brothers and sisters. Good evening. This is Naum Vasquez Garcia, and this is a very important message for all of you who are listening, brothers and sisters. In the name of Jesus Christ, let me just scan this information. This is the view calendar. You can see it later. I'm just scanning. Okay, so what I do is to show you all the view calendar with the 4 years. We find also in the Hebrew calendar from Nisan the information about the Lamb, the fulfillment of the salvation of the world by the blood of the Lamb. And then we find Elul, Tisri, Kislev as a seal of 9 months. And then Shevat, the 4th year of the Hebrew calendar with Tu Bishvat. This has a law. The law of Shevat means that the 14th day, well, we are going to be quickly, okay? In the 14th day of the month of Shevat, you can plant up 3, and a 3 can be counted as the 2nd year and the 15th day. You know the law of Shevat, right? So the next is the 3rd year, could be counted like this because when you plant a tree in Tu Bishvat, at the next year, it just automatically turns into the 2nd year. So this is counted as years, as the law of Shevat. And the 17th year is also a year. But the trouble in here is that if you plant a tree at the 16th day, at the 17th day, it doesn't reach its next year to be 2 years old until the next year. I mean, we're talking about Shevat. So the law of Shevat means that the 1st and the 2nd and the 3rd year that the fruits of the tree are like filthy, like they are not to eat them. So the 4th year, the fruit of the tree is considered to be an offer to the temple of the Lord. And at the 5th year of the tree, the fruit of the tree can be eaten. This is very important for you to know because it's the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th year you can eat its fruit. It's talking about the tree of life. So we're talking now in this law, okay? Why I'm showing myself in the 17th day, or a 17th year also in the law of Shevat, because of Noah. Noah was 600 years old, and when the flood started at the 2nd month, 17th day. And at the 601, at the 2nd month, at the 27th day, the flood was gone. Okay, so this is the 17th year as the 601, okay? And the 17th day to the 26th day is 10 days, automatically. So the 27th is of rest because it was already dried. This is shown in here as the law of Shevat. From the 600 year of Noah to the 601 year of Noah's life in the 2nd month, the 17th day represents the 10 days and also the equality of 10 days of Shevat, the 10 days also of Noah. From the 17th day to the 27th day is equality of 10 days. From the 17th, to the 26th day is the equality of 10 days. And the 27th is of rest, to rest. So now we are going to go to Shevat. Shevat is the 4th year in the Hebrew calendar. Is the 4th month without the seal of Haggai. Is the 4th month. And also is the 4th time the prophets of the Lord is repeated the day of the 24th day, okay? So this means that it's complete. So now I find out the information, what is being shown to you, is that the 10th day is very important because at this day Noah was called that the end of the world. I mean there will be an end to all living thing on the earth. So this is right in the book of Genesis. The Genesis here in the 17th day started to, this is the flood. At the 26th day, the flood stopped. And the 27th day, the flood was gone. The land was already dry. So this is the law of Shevat. Shevat has 4 years, right? The first year, second year, 4 year, and the third year, 4 year, okay? You already know this law. The 17th is the 4th year, which means that this will be like the first fruits of the tree for the Lord. So this is from 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 of Shevat. And the 27 is rest. Why is rest? Because this represents Sabbath. Okay? Is the 27 represents as Sabbath. In the month of Shevat, this is the years, and from 17 to 26, it represents the last 10 days of Noah's flood in the second month, counting that this is the year from the 600 year of Noah's life to the 601 year of Noah's life, and then to 26, 10 days, and then the 27 as rest. Occasionally, the 21 and 22, 23, and 24, as is being given to you, and the Hebrew calendar of Shevat, that is repeated in all the prophets, I remark it. So, from 21, 24, it matched perfectly with the 10 days of Noah. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, okay, it matched. But there is left 25 and 26. So you know that the days of Haggai were counted as 21, 22, 23. And the prophet Haggai, the Lord told him to remember very well the 24th day, okay? We find ourselves that this was very important. In months, even in months. Haggai and Zechariah. Zechariah gave the 62, 63, 64, and 65 in the book at the chapter 14. It's explaining the Lord's coming, when the Lord returned. So it's very important, the prophet Haggai and Zechariah, because in months we have this order, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Zechariah 62, 63, 64, and 65. This means that the 26 is in here. So Zechariah is the 62, 23, 63, 24, 64, 25, and 26, 65. And after this comes the day of the Lord, because you know that the day of the Lord is Shabbat, because it's being holy. The day of the Lord. So what I say to you is this also. The days of Noah fits perfectly with the law of Shevat as the year of Noah in the flood. And also Zechariah and Haggai fits also with the 21 to 24 perfectly, 62, 63, 64, and 65 to 26. This represents that is Friday. Okay, I love it with Friday. Okay. The 26 to the 65 is Friday, and 27 is Shabbat. So what I'm showing to you is the days of Noah. They fit perfectly with the 21, 22, 23, 24 of Haggai. And also from Zechariah 62, 63, 64, and 65. But it's also explaining about the prophet Daniel. The prophet Daniel in chapter 9 is saying that the 62 to the half, 7 is equals 14. In the Hebrew calendar, from the first year is expressing the half of the month, which is 14, and 7:7:14 is representing the blood of the Lamb. The Lamb was crucified. Okay, so in here is explaining in days the same as is writing in the book of Apocalypse, which is Revelation chapter 11, with the 3 days and a half. This represents about the law of Moses, like the 10 Commandments, and also the years of the prophet Elijah. That prophet Elijah is about to come also. He is talking about 3 years and a half, but the days has been shortened. So now they are 3 days and a half. Now I find out that all this is very important for you to know, that this represents a half. First of all, because this represents Daniel chapter 9, then goes times, and then the time of the end, Daniel chapter 12, I'm sorry. It's Daniel chapter 12. So, what's really important in here? It's, let me just hold on. This is the famous, the time of the end. It's not time, times, and a half of time. It's half of time, times, and a time. Because this is what represents Daniel chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12, the entire chapter is talking about the time of the end. And here is, as is shown with the days and the entire prophets. You already have this information, brothers and sisters, of the Hebrew calendar, so this is easy for you to understand because I told you about the 26 days. But I didn't tell you about the days of Noah. The days of Noah are the equality of it. We find out, as we read, that the 10th day he was called, 17 days started the flood. After 40 days and 40 nights, there is a 26. There's a quality of 65. The 24 is repeated in the 11th month of Noah's calendar, solar calendar. So the 17th day is the 4th year of Shevat. It is the equality of 10 days, which means that the days of Noah here fits perfectly with the 24th day, which is repeated in the Hebrew calendar and ends with all the prophets of the Old Testament. Torah, it's 65 years, 4 months, 4 days. But now it's 24 as a seal with Haggai. It's 26 as an open seal with Zechariah, talking about the place of the months as the days and years. So the 4th year, the 4th day, and also the 4th month, we find out 4 hours before the end. This is very important for you to know. What I want to mark here, so I will be quickly to end this video, is that the days of Noah, in the 2nd month, where the flood started, until the Friday, 26th day, those were the 10 days. And the 27th day, the earth was already dried. This means Shabbat, the rest. And this is the time of the end. So what I want to tell you in this is that the days of Noah fits perfectly with all I've been telling you. And of course, it's time for me to take out the seal of the 62. This is Daniel chapter 9. Daniel chapter 9. And Daniel chapter 12 with the time of the end. So these are the 3 days and a half. Because what I see is that it's talking the prophecies of the seals. You know, the seals are based in the solar calendar, Hebrew calendar, which is lunar calendar. But the hour is together with the months, which means that it is part of the solar calendar. So the 10 days, last 10 days, the last 3 days and a half, and the hour is the equality of solar calendars, not based in the 144,000 seal of lunar calendars. This is the last days with solar calendars. Now I'm going to finish this saying this about the hour that no one knows. Matthew chapter 24, verse 37, 38, and 39. It says, "No one knows the day and the hour, but my Father." You know, because the Lord was telling us this in the mission when he came and he was made flesh. So he was the Word, and the Word was God. So, but just as the days of Noah, so it shall be. Now you know the days of Noah are 10. From 17 to, those were 17 days, right? The days of Noah are 10. So where the days of Noah, so it shall be. Because in the days before the flood, they were start drinking. You know all the chapter about Matthew 24, they were drinking, marrying, and giving to marriage, until the flood came and took them all. The flood will last 10 days. Not talking about the end of all, but the flood is talking in the book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and chapter 9, I believe so. It's saying about the flood and then Emmanuel. The flood. The flood will be a great war over Israel and Jerusalem. The final one, that it's saying that Jerusalem will be destroyed at the last days. And so also there comes the 3 days and a half before Shabbat, when, it's right in the book of Revelation, chapter 11, about the prophet Elijah who will come. And so anyone who comes before the Lord is called Elijah, because it fits with the 3 days and a half before the end. And this is right in all the entire prophecies of the prophets, since the destruction of Babylonian kingdom. Then comes the 4 years of King Darius. And then we find out all information that is being shown to you, that we are reading in the Holy Scriptures. So the Lord is giving me this information, since I was called in 2004, in the year 5,765 year of the Hebrew calendar, in the 2004 year. So this is all for me to give to all of you. No one knows the day and the hour but my Father. This means that God himself knows it. And what we've been seeing in here is God is speaking to us, giving us the information, giving us the answer before he comes with the days of Noah. First, the 10 days of the flood, which is the great war that will reach to the necks of Judah. This is right in the book of Zechariah chapter 8. This is the great flood of war. This will last 10 days. This is even written in the book of Revelation chapter 2 verse 10. With the 10 days, Revelation chapter 2 verse 10, Isaiah chapter 8 verse 9. This is a flood, the great war that will come and reach to the necks of Judah and will destroy Jerusalem in its walls. And it's writing even saying that all their enemies, who are the enemies of Israel? You know who are the enemies of Israel. And they will complete everything they have to do before the end. So all I wanted to know is to give you this understanding, because it's been shown to me, and by the grace of the Lord and mercy also. So the days of Noah has been shown to you, fitting perfectly to Shabbat. And you already have the dates of what I was explaining to you about how it fits with Shabbat, all the Shabbat days. But believe me, not everyone is going to understand this except you who are listening, who really are understanding this message. So I'm asking you to let them know this information, and also to understand that Shabbat is not just a month, it's not just a year. It is just like the law of Passover. So it shall be the law of Shabbat. And then we find out at the 26th how much important is this Friday 26th of Shabbat. And so we wait for the 27th for Shabbat, which is Saturday. And this is right in the book of Noah and the month. After the year 600 of Noah to 601 of Noah, we find out in Genesis chapter 8, verse 14. And in the second month, at the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. This means that the 27th counts as the flood was over. So from the 17th day, counting as 1 year, to the 26th day is 10 days. And this represents 26th Friday. And 27, I remark it, is when the land, the entire earth was dry. As the prophecy is also shown in this matter from the beginning to the end. Brothers and sisters, this is the last information. As it's been given to you, all this information of Noah, you know that Noah is also the 65 pointing with Shem, even with the Enoch. You know the book of Genesis chapter 5 and chapter 11, I'm sorry. You already know that information. Thank you for being listening. So I'm asking you to be ready for the next video that is coming until the month of September, because you know that September is going to fit with the month of Elul. This means that the month of Elul, the first day, which is new moon, is going to be September 1st also. Is one of those times when the Hebrew calendar fits perfectly with the Gregorian calendar. This Elul is September until the 29th day of the month. So I will send you much more information until September. I'm sorry if this is difficult for you to understand. You're supposed to know the days of Noah, or the flood, and what means the flood in the prophecies to come. And this information goes for 10 days to end. And it fits perfectly. I'm saying to you, this fits perfectly. And I believe exactly what is about to come. So I'm asking you to be faithful, to be patient with this information, because this is just a reminder of all that is being shown to you. So please let me just prepare this information. I have to go to work. I have to do things because, the enemy it doesn't understand. I mean, this is the real problem. And I'm going to say to you all this information, because I'm here at the middle of the night. In fact, this is like 3 a.m., so 4 a.m. So I'm going to say this at the 24th minute of this video. Brothers and sisters, many people will not understand this information. Forgive them. But also be prepared, because this is entire answers. And all I want you to know is that to be safe, to be prepared, because we clearly understand that in the book of Apocalypse, the book of Revelation, it says in the chapter 7, and I saw the four winds, four angels holding the four winds of the earth, and so they will not hurt the land, the trees, and the sea, until the 144 is put in the foreheads of the servants of the Lord. Why is the 144,000? Because this represents even Friday, taking out the 4 days in here. So the 100, let me just put it together. Okay, and I got this information for you is here. This is the 62, 63, 64, and 65, 144,000. The 1,000 years represents Nisan. 1,600 years represents Nisan and Elul. And then you know all the other 2 years. This means Nisan, Elul, Tisri, and Shevat as a seal, open. So now we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the hour on Friday. So it's very important for you to take this in consideration, because soon there will be no question. I understand that this is difficult to show even to myself, but for real, it's what I want you to know, because I was called to give you this information. This is just a reminder. Don't take it too seriously until the information is complete. And I'm completing the information, which is very good news. But what really scares me, and let me tell you, it does scares me, is that the time is coming soon. And when it fits perfectly, we just have to wait for it. We just have to wait for it, that's it. And you know what is a good thing? Personally, I would love to see my father once more. And also to be real with you, this responsibility gives me a very nice feeling, but also mixed with fear, because, this is real huge to understand. And you already know that the 10 days also represents the book of Job, the book of Song of Songs, and the book of Ezekiel. Oh, well, there is not much for me to tell you. At the 28th minute of this video, I'm saying good night to all of you. And so keep it in mind. This is Nahum Vasquez Garcia. I will prepare all this information. And for sure, you already know that I'm writing the final book, which is going to have all the information. And I'm sharing to you this information as I find the way to express and also to explain it for all of you, because this is the reason why I came here. I came to give you all the books open, and that's what I will do, even if it's the last thing I will do. And believe me, I already know that it will take time. So we are waiting for the law of Shabbat, 10 days. The information is almost finished. The book is going to be finished also, and is going to be also published. So this is all I was commanded to do since 2004, and this is truth. I will not go to United States. I received the dream that I must stay here, and that I will always care about all of you, my brothers and my sisters, and all of you who are searching for the truth. For sure, this will be a blessing when it's already in your hands. You just have to be patient, be positive, and love your family. Please, do not lose the time without telling them that you love them. This is Nahum Vasquez Garcia. God bless you, all of you. And also, God bless America and Mr. Donald Trump as president. Thank you very much.